What we have here is a 1971 Schwinn cantilever frame tribute Klunker. Pretty much period correct tribute Klunker. This is what I build all the time. You've seen them. That's why you keep coming back to watch these videos. And, you know, these are some of the strongest frames ever made, and it's not because, you know, it's a cantilever frame necessarily, but it's a Schwinn, and it has an electro-forged head tube, and these things were just pretty much bomb-proof. These frames were built up back in the day. You can watch the old Pearl Pass videos. You'll see guys on these, and guys up in Marin County did them. And the one knock on these frames is that they have a low bottom bracket. And compared to modern mountain bikes, and then the frames that those guys eventually made, and even the pre-war frames, that's correct. Lower bottom bracket. But it doesn't matter unless you are back east, riding through the forest, going over a bunch of logs. You know, because out here in California, what you're mostly riding is hard-packed roads, dirt roads, designed for motorized vehicles. So the lower bottom bracket is actually a benefit, particularly in the downhill, because you have a lower center of gravity. You get your ass up out of the saddle, lower center of gravity. So it's actually better for cornering, and it is faster. That's just a fact. So, you know me, I build these up using old mountain bike parts. A lot of the parts on this bike came off of old Schwinn mountain bikes from the early 80s. I'm running a you know, vintage Biopace here, becoming kind of en vogue these days. People really dig on them. They're actually putting them on the bikes again. You know, Biopace is basically oblong. You know, it's kind of out of round. It gives you more cranking power on the downstroke. That's true. It works. But it wasn't really enough to warrant changing the whole industry. You know, round works. But it's cool. Got some vintage bear trap pedals on there. These are 170mm crank arms, which is perfect for the Schwinn cantilever frame. These frames come typically standard with a 165mm crank arm. So 170 is perfect. It's the frame, by the way, is out of Peoria, Illinois. Just kind of neat. It's a neat little thing there. Just gonna get this to focus. I'm trying to figure this out. There we go. Neato. The rear derailleur is interesting. I just kind of fell in love with these years ago. Nothing special necessarily. These were on the 5-speed Schwinns from the late 80s. I believe it is a, yeah, it is a Sun Tour. It's a steel derailleur. Obviously it reaches all 7 gears on the rear here, but these things are pretty much bulletproof too, and I like them. They're just easy to work with. Just real simple, and it functions. It's kind of hard to break it. I'm running some vintage matching Araya, I think they're RX-7 hoops, Joytech hubs. The handlebars are vintage motocross handlebars off a motorcycle. I don't know which one. It really doesn't matter. I get a good deal on my handlebars. I buy them on eBay, used, cheap. The problem is you got to really communicate with the seller, because sometimes they're bent, and I figure out how to straighten them out. So that works for me. Brute force plus gray matter equals success. Just remember that one. Some old shifters here, working great. Dummies, I love them. You know, good quality old Diacomp heavy-duty mountain bike levers. More modern Schwinn grips that are ergonomic. These things are really a pleasure in the hand. New tires with a lot of bite. I mean, these things are ridiculous. You know, the fork is the black chrome. It's got that patina, that theft-resistant patina off of Schwinn Sierra. It's got the badass super stopping cool stop brake pads. Stem's pretty cool. 4-bolt stem that thrusts the bars and raises them. So this is just, ergonomically speaking, it's a very comfortable bike to be on. I'm 5'9", it's set up for me. It has a kind of a rare aluminum Schwinn seat post. It's got a Schwinn sprung saddle. I'm sorry, maybe that's not a Schwinn. But it's very comfortable. It's got your quick release here, mountain bike quick release. I put it on this side because obviously the brake line is running on that side. I did some funky Klunker technology here. This is just one of my things. I love using the Schwinn approved I think it's 2.8, 2.4. Let's say here, let's get it. Yeah, 2.8. So this is a smaller caliper brake, but it reaches, gets around the tire, and because it's a smaller caliper brake, it doesn't flex as much, so you get better stopping power. And I did this really, you know, funky system here to mount that and lower it tighter to the tire so it would reach, and it's just phenomenal. Obviously, it just works. The front derailleur, it's kind of neat. I don't know what bike this came off of. Let me see if I can get it from the other side here. It's a GT front derailleur, and you know, it fits that 1-inch tube, so I think that's kind of special. Got your hose clamped on, water bottle carrier, and I'll tell you, I've ridden this bike up in what was this, Santa Cruz through the Redwoods, and it just performed flawlessly. I have it listed for sale. Actually, I think my price is kind of low on it. I have it listed at $480, and there's, you know, I mean, it's definitely worth it. You'd have to put just a shit ton of time into getting all these parts and making everything work. There's a lot of clunker tech going on here. Anyhow, this is for all you people who keep asking me for more bike videos. Have a good day.